Hey y'all, what's good? It's Mosey back with another video today. And today I'm gonna be talking about expression and determination in a way, because I want to let y'all know something. I was working on my 9th project last night, and I was like just really focusing on like getting everything done that I could before I had to go to bed. And I thought it would be okay to basically leave my project there on my desk and still have my water glass, right next to it, because it's been fine before, I thought, so why wouldn't it be fine now? And I went to get a drink, like, while I was about to go to bed, and that just spilled, like, all over the 9th. It covered, like, the half, like, the middle portion of it. And in the moment, I was kind of freaking out. In the moment, I was scared. And I was a little upset that, it happened that way. But at the same time, I feel like the reason that happened is because I didn't really trust my intuition too much. I feel like in that moment, because I did think before to like maybe move my glass or to maybe move my drawing somewhere else, but I didn't really trust my intuition, and I feel like that's what led to how it happened. But I'm just trying to remember that everything happens for a reason too. And I will show y'all right now how the 9th looks as of now. You can't really notice any water damage, but I will let y'all know that this entire side right here, like everything that I'm covering, like that middle part, that area, yeah, that all got just covered, like drenched in water. And what I did was I put books on it overnight so that it would be, a little flat. It's still kind of warped. You can't really know this with the camera, but I did start inking some stuff as well. And I haven't posted that on anything yet, so y'all get to see that as like a a little sneak peek, I guess. I don't know. But yeah. I'm still chilling. Like, I still realize that it's okay, and that I feel like it did happen for a reason. I'm not gonna lie. I think it did. And that's what I want to say. Like, life is at a lot of times, life is just up to the interpreter. It's about how we kind of interpret life in a way. It's kind of how we interpret our surroundings, our environment, who we are. It's really about that perspective. Like, I think a lot of us get a little too caught up in the perspective of other people, whether it's people we admire, people we don't know, or people that, just we have a connection to, a special connection to. And it's always okay, to have that connection with somebody, that's lovely. But I feel like getting too caught up in that, and too caught up in changing that perspective or changing that person, whether it's for the better or worse, like, I feel like isn't our duty in a way. I feel like life is up to the interpreter. It's up to who is living on the path. It's up to who is processing that we are conscious, who is processing that we have free will enough to accomplish what they need to do and progress. I feel like, if we're here, we might as well be progressing. We might as well be doing something. I feel like if we do have things that we desire, whether it's in our future, whether it's something we could obtain right now, whether it's something we like desire, I feel like going after that and making that first step is very important, to say the least. And I wish I knew better ways to word it. I wish I knew better ways to word certain things, but I did just want to get a video out today for y'all, because I know that it might help with advice or inspiration or whatever. It might help, so I wanted to do that. And I just wanted to talk about how, like, we can truly express ourselves any way we want to. Like, we can wear whatever we want to. We can be whoever we want to be. If we are not hurting ourselves, we're not hurting anybody in the process of being that, in the process of being ourselves and pursuing what we want to. If we're not hurting anybody, we're not hurting ourselves. Like, that's what's important. I feel like that is what makes it, a possibility in a way to achieve our dreams and be that. So, and I apologize, y'all. My house is loud. My house is loud as hell. I be dealing with it. This is how it is. But I know that as I make videos, like as time goes on, this shit is just gonna get so much better. Like once I get recording equipment, once I get, knowledge of how to edit, knowledge of how to do certain stuff, I just know that like I have to start off this way. I have to start off in a way, trusting my intuition enough to just be myself and like talk to a camera, because when I'm talking to this camera, like I want to imagine I'm talking person to person with whoever's watching this in a way that's, making an impact on them that is positive, that I hope to be positive. That's what, one of my main goals is with making these YouTube videos, honestly, is just touching those people with inspiration and acceptance in a way, because acceptance is very important. I feel like if we don't accept the fact that we can make mistakes and that we do, and that we have parts of ourselves that are flaws that we need to work on, I feel like that first step in a way is acceptance. I don't think we can truly start working on ourselves for the better if we're not accepting that. And another thing is to definitely treat yourself like you're somebody you are trying to help. Don't treat yourself like somebody you're trying to get on about, trying to get on to, like, to change them or to do something. You can't really do it in a negative way. If you try to progress, with your life, with how you exist, how you perceive other people, like if you try to progress with that in any negative outlook, like any negative mindset, I feel like in a way that will just tarnish what you're trying to do for yourself. I feel like that's what it will do. And that's just because that's something I've personally experienced. I've tried to, in a way, force self-growth before. And we got to realize that it's not really a linear process. Like, it's not just going up. When we make that decision, it might be going up for quite a while. When we starting that out, it may be the complete opposite. It may be going down a little bit, every now and then, or remaining stagnant for a long time. But that is how it has to be. That's how it is. That's how it has to be. And that's because if it weren't for those moments of failure, if it wasn't for those moments of making that mistake or, falling in a moment like that, I feel like if it wasn't for those moments, we wouldn't even have the positive moments. We wouldn't have the moments to appreciate. And I know I've mentioned that in my past videos, but like, that is something that's really important to me in particular. Like, just interpreting things in a way that is something that benefits you, but it also can benefit the people that you love and that you care about and that you appreciate. And I try to appreciate everybody, for their own, like everything about them, this every little thing, even if it's something I don't really agree with, I still try to appreciate those people and the fact that, they're looking through their eyeballs, they're perceiving something. I have respect for that. I personally do. I personally have respect for that. And lately, I've been just trying to ground myself in the present moment. Because I'm not going to lie with y'all, my anxiety lately has been a little prevalent. It's been something that has affected the way that I wanted to interact with people. And it's affected the way that I am in public places. But that's how it always is with anxiety, That's how it is. But I'm working on trying to be in the present moment, so much so that I'm not thinking about or caring about, other people's perception of me in particular. Like, if I need to care about another person's perception, I would be listening to them, and hearing them out and trying to, give them advice or support or whatever I can. But if it's people that you're not really going to know the thoughts going behind their brain, and you can't really assume that. You can't really see something and just assume that they're judging something about you, because even if they are, like, all that it really is doing is harming yourself. And it's hard to realize that, and it's hard to get out of those cycles. I feel like a lot of us will get trapped in cycles very easily. And it will be a very much of a struggle to get out, because it is, in a way, the definition of insanity. It's doing the same thing over and over again and expecting something different. That's kind of what a cycle is, a negative one at least. And it's hard to work on that. It's hard to break out of that. It's hard to break free from that. But to know that it's possible is important. To know that we have the will to do it, the capability. We got to start living for ourselves in a way. I know a lot of people that live for other people. I was one of those people. I have been one of those people like most of my life, honestly, but lately I just been trying to switch that up, but not even switch it up or change it or forcibly, put a stop to something inside of me. I've been more so just trying to have acceptance with the parts of myself that I don't necessarily agree with, and having that acceptance and appreciation, even though it's negative, like even though it's something that I need to work on. Just having that appreciation is important, and that respect for yourself enough to be like, oh, it's gonna be okay. Like the fact that I made a mistake, like the fact that you made a mistake is only proof that you were standing, because you cannot fall if you were not standing in the first place. I like that quote a lot, and I learned that from Profound Pondering, actually. And I think it's a really important quote to like spread around, because if people are really quick to, think about the failure and how impactful the failure is, and, what we could have done differently, I guess, in that moment, instead of thinking about, all of the progress that you're making before that leading up to that moment, all of the waiting, the patience, just waiting for that moment, I feel like we kind of take that moment for granted sometimes in a way. I feel like sometimes we just like, when we're thinking of our past self or thinking of mistakes that we've made, we kind of just tend to think only negatively about it. And that's because in reality, like our mind is built to see the negative in things, to see danger in things. I mean, like, that's how the human mind works. Like, we're always going to find a problem with something. That's the, I guess, slight uncomfortable feeling about being conscious in a way, is knowing that. But at the same time, if we weren't always, feeling that way, or if that wasn't always like encoded in our brains, I don't feel like we'd be able to get to a point to where we can like just be free and accepting and just appreciate. I feel like it'd be very difficult to get to that moment if a lot of us were like not really different. But a lot of us are different, and I like when people express themselves in their own way, like whether it's through fashion, because I love expression through fashion, like whether or not what clothes you're wearing, don't really wear things for like societal exception in a way. Just wear things that you accept, wear things that you look at yourself when you're like, damn, I actually like that. I like how that looks on me, or that's something that just fits me. I think it's important to recognize and appreciate that, because there's always going to be, if you're going to be doing that, if you're going to be living for yourself and progressing in that way, I feel like there's always going to be people that are going to be in their own way against it, in their own way, some more than others, some more intensely than other people, but like, it's important to just hold on, it's important to hold on to that and realize that, this moment isn't forever. And that's why I have to appreciate it. That's why I have to do what I can in this moment to, work a little bit towards my goals, even if it is like something small, like the fact that we're able to get out of bed is something we overlook a lot too. Because it is a struggle some mornings. It really is, to get out of bed and start our days and begin on the things that, we need to focus on, our responsibilities. It's difficult. It's difficult more than half of the time, usually, for some people. But I think it's about that consistency and that effort in wanting to see things differently, wanting to appreciate things differently. wanting to live differently, wanting to see the world differently. Because if you want to see the world a certain way, then you have to be it. You have to fully encompass that. If that's something that you want to see, if that's something that you know in your life, that that's something you appreciate, that's something you want in the world, then you have to be that yourself. You know, I've been trying to remember that recently, and to remember that, you know, I've said this in the last video too, but life does not get easier, you just get stronger. You know, you gotta remember that shit too. It's hard, but it's important. It's always gonna be hard, it's always gonna be difficult though. But I feel like part of that self-growth, part of that journey and everything, like, part of that beauty of it is just like the fact that it can go so many different ways. You know, like, we can truly do so many different things as human beings. We can do so many different things, whether they're positive or negative. We have potential for all of them, and that free will, you know, is a beautiful thing. But knowing that free will and still choosing to work on ourselves and still choosing to make the most of our lives and our situations, that is how we really appreciate, I feel like. Just choosing to appreciate, choosing to respect where you are right now and see the good in it, and just try to see that, try to focus on that. It's important. And I feel like the more we progress, we're gonna see times, you know, where we go down or we remain at a certain point, and we're gonna see times where we go up. But we need to acknowledge them all in our own little ways, in our own positive ways though. You know, of course we're gonna congratulate ourselves for our accomplishments, but too many of us fail to recognize and accept our defeats for what they are and how they create us and what they mean to us. A lot of us, I feel like, fail to realize that in a way. And that's okay. And if y'all made it to this far in the video, thank you. I appreciate you, and I'm proud of you as well. I'm genuinely proud of you. Because I feel like if you got to the end of this video, you got to right here in this moment, then you've been watching my videos a lot in general. And I just want y'all to know that I appreciate that, and I respect that, and that it's okay. In a way, it really is. It's okay. It's gonna be okay. I know it seems corny. I know it seems like you've heard it a lot, but it is gonna be okay. That's something I know. That's something I have belief in. It is gonna be okay. And just remember to express yourself. Like, just remember to wear what you want to wear, do what you want to do, sound how you want to sound, be what you want to be. You know, if it goes along with those moral things in the way that it's like you're not hurting yourself, you're not hurting nobody else, then do it. Then be yourself. Be yourself for the sake of being you, but don't even do it for other people. Don't do it to prove something to somebody else, or, you know, prove something to anybody. Just do it to do it. Just do it for yourself. Do it to be you, and to connect with yourself in a different way, and to reconnect with yourself. Because it's easy to disconnect. It's a lot harder to reconnect with ourselves. I feel like it's easy to dissociate and stuff. But the fact that we're willing to put in that effort to try to make that progress, whether it's small or not, whether it lasts a day or not, whether it lasts an hour or not, whether, like, the fact that we're willing to put in that work for ourselves, I think that should be proof that we love ourselves in our own way, and that we accept ourselves if we're putting in that effort. That's lovely to me. Just realizing that, you know, that's lovely. But anyways, y'all have a good rest of your night. I appreciate you all, as I always do. And thank you for being you. Thank you for being alive in this moment and viewing things the way that you view things. Saying things the way you say things. Just thank you. Thank you for that. You know, whether you inherently view it as negative or positive, thank you. because that's you. You're still being you. So I appreciate that. Oh shit, y'all, I gotta go. Got the fire alarm going off. That's kind of crazy. And I don't fucking edit these, so unfortunate. But y'all have a good rest of your night.